Hi guys, welcome to one of my videos. It's me, your Destiny Oracle again, and this is an extra video. It's a response to some messages I was getting. So basically, I came under a little bit of fire by someone on my YouTube channel. Now, he saw my previous video in which I was talking about new stuff that had been discovered that was going on in Fortnite, and oh, hey Ghost Puppy, and this person made some inquiries to me and he asked me to answer them, so I'm answering on video. He wanted to know, in what way is Fortnite Battle Royale addictive? And why is it so bad? And he said that it is Sony's main money maker, so they're not going to stop doing it anytime soon, and that although he doesn't know how the game works, there's nothing wrong with it. Well, I'm going to tell you a few things, starting off with what I said in my last video is absolutely true. I never bullshit on any of these things. Everything is completely and utterly 100% researched. So first off, let's start off with how it becomes addictive, and also the matter of it being the big cash maker. In the first place, it is not selling nearly as well as it was. Destiny 2 Forsaken is outselling Fortnite Battle Royale and all its stuff by a million%, if not more. This is because Forsaken is so good. In fact, one YouTuber, and this is a guy that has like millions of subs, did a YouTube video, professional one, edited and all that bullshit, in which he publicly said that, in his opinion, Fortnite's lifespan, if it is lucky, will last at longest till the end of next year. For the simple reason that the people who make Fortnite cannot keep up with demand for new content in it, because it is not possible to make as much content in a PvP only game as it is for a PvE game. Destiny 2, they constantly update them. Bungie have publicly said that they are going to be constantly updating stuff. There's going to be new stuff to unlock, new guns, new weapons, new characters, even the promise of a new vendor. They've said that when everything has been finished adding, before Destiny 3 comes out, we're going to have, counting Leviathan, 9 raids in the game. And so this brings me to how addictive it is. In Fortnite Battle Royale, it is extremely competitive, and it is in fact designed to be addictive. They've actually gone to trouble for putting in programming which deliberately makes the game addictive. You see, people get angry at it when they lose to other people on it. And you get a hell of a lot of tryhards on it, which means all the normal people lose more often than the tryhards do. And then they get very angry about it and they don't want to stop until they beat the tryhards. And on top of that, there are also skin packs and guns and stuff, and they don't want to stop until they finish collecting them all. But they have to pay for them all. There's the ones you're going to buy, and there's ones you're going to earn, and Epic do stuff like time limited events or take skins out of the game after a certain amount of time. So it becomes very, very addictive. And there's proof all around you. In fact, in America, as I mentioned in my previous video, kids have been becoming so angry and aggressive and uncooperative with their parents when they lose at the game that parents have been of kids who are having trouble with their grades have been taking money away from paying tutors to help them with their English, maths, art, history and science, and using it to pay professional gamers and YouTubers to come around and teach them face to face how to be better at Fortnite Battle Royale. So there is programming in the game. It does make it addictive, and I can tell you hand on heart that it is addictive, because I've had friends who have become addicted to it and they just block everyone who doesn't play it. I have one person who sent me so many invites to Fortnite Battle Royale that they were still coming in after I blocked them. 60 invites in 10 minutes he sent me. Now I told him that I was going to block him if he didn't stop sending me the invites, and I told him for that I didn't have it and didn't plan on getting it, and he still continued to send invites. 60 invites to the game, 25 invites to his party. So 75 all in all. No, I tell a lie, 85. Sorry, my maths get a bit crap at 5 in the morning. Well, but Fortnite is under attack from all sides. Behavior specialists, social workers, governments, child protection agencies, parents, schools, people who are recovering from being Fortnite addicts, all want this game shut down. And it is going to be shut down because Forsaken is 10 times bigger than it is. There's more to do. You don't have to buy anything extra. Once you have Forsaken, you are good. Don't have to buy anything extra. It comes, if you get the collection, it comes with a free thing that allows you to jump to level 40. So you're only 10 levels away from the primary level, the top primary level. Definitely more people play it. And some people are going to tell you that a lot of people play, a lot more people log on, like how many million people log on to Fortnite Battle Royale every day. The truth is they do not. They absolutely do not. Epic recently got into serious trouble for faking records on how many players play their games. This game is finished. if you are determined to play this game, then I would advise you only play the playground mode, because it gives you more control. You have control over who does and doesn't come in. You have control over the entire session, basically. This game cannot last because all the problems it's had aside, is a PvP only game, which means it only attracts people who are into PvP. All the PvE players, all the people who hate PvP, all the people who hate PvP, all the people who like PvP but not large scale PvP, all PvE only players, go to other games. So Fortnite Battle Royale is missing out on all those players. It's also losing players because parents are pulling their kids off it because it is too addictive and too much hassle. I know one person who told me that at his school his teachers were concerned because bullying had gone up by 50% since the kids there started playing Fortnite. The latest big issue is that child predators have started using Fortnite as a way of getting kids to have sex with them. There are adults on Fortnite Battle Royale using it as a way of finding young girls and tricking them into having sex with them. And under the law, if a game company is aware that that's happening in large numbers on their game, they have to do something about it. Epic are refusing to, and they tried to cover it up. So there is a message from the National Society for Protection of Children to parents being released recently, which is that parents should do one or two things regarding Fortnite Battle Royale. Option A, which is the preferred option, is that they should not allow their kids to play Fortnite Battle Royale at all. Option 2 is that the kid should, if the kid is going to be allowed to play Fortnite Battle Royale, there should be strict rules in place and operation. They put a thing on their site that run, and it's basically an example of what you could put in place. Now, both as a Destiny clan leader and as someone who has younger family members, I have had serious issues with Fortnite Battle Royale. As a result of this, in both cases, both areas, both the clan and my family, guidelines and rules have been put in place to avoid these things happening again. In my clan, you are not permitted to be part of my clan unless if you play Fortnite Battle Royale, unless it is only the playground mode that you play. You limit yourself to the playground mode. You can join the clan. If not, we have to turn you away. Um, and my little sister. I have two sisters. My youngest sister gets punished if she plays. Will get into trouble if she plays Fortnite Battle Royale, and it's anything other than Save the World or Playground Mode. She can only play Save the World or Battle Royale Playground Mode, and if she's caught playing anything else, she does get in trouble, get disciplined. And same story for the other young people in our family. I also know for a fact that a lot of other people have parents who are making very clear to them that it's unacceptable for them to be associated with Fortnite Battle Royale. And basically, some of them do get seriously disciplined if they do take part in it. I've spoken to one member of my clan, and he says that his parents are totally against Fortnite because they know what it does to people, and they are more than willing, and they will probably be more than willing to come on one of my videos and talk about how they feel about the game. I'll try and set that up as soon as possible. Whether you are a parent or a young person, I would like to offer you the chance to come on one of my videos with me, join a party with me, come on one of my videos with me, and have your say about all the stuff that is being said about Fortnite Battle Royale. But one thing I would say to you is, if you do not have kids or little sisters or little brothers, and you have not encountered anybody who plays Fortnite Battle Royale personally, please do not try to come out with stuff like it couldn't possibly be harmful, because you just don't know what is harmful for a kid or not if you have had nothing to do with them. On the lighter side of things, I would like to point out that Fortnite Battle Royale has become a galactic joke. A lot of TV shows are making fun of Fortnite Battle Royale. On South Park, they did a storyline where, if you know the characters, you may have seen South Park, you may not have if you're in America and you are above the age of 6, I imagine you will have. You've seen the show South Park, and if you've seen it recently, you'll know there's a new series, and they did a storyline in which Eric Cartman cheated off Token at school, and Token gave him the wrong answers, and then Token did well in the class, and Eric flung. And the reason Eric needed to cheat was because he'd been playing so much Fortnite Battle Royale. And then Eric's mum told him that he would be grounded from Fortnite Battle Royale for a month, be allowed to do anything else, but he would not be allowed to Fortnite Battle Royale for a month. So basically this is setting the scene for the piss taking, because this kid allowed to do anything else. Only thing he's grounded from is Fortnite, but he's grounded from that. So at that point, rather than studying to do the reset test, because Mum said she won't ground him from it if she does the reset test, if he succeeds at the reset test, rather than studying so he does better at the reset test, he becomes absolutely obsessed with finding out and exposing Token for deliberately getting him to do badly on the test when he cheated off him. And there's all this, all this nonsense stuff, and it really does take the piss out of Fortnite a lot. There is one Black Panther joke in it, which is of course the movie I'm referring to, not the animal Black Panther. Actually, I've not actually seen that movie now I think about it. Does anyone know if Black Panther is good? Let me know. I mean, some people say it's awesome, some people say it sucks. Anyway, they did that, and you didn't actually get. I mean, so big long storyline. I'm not going to explain it all to you, but it's hilarious. You should definitely watch South Park, and if this episode comes on again, which it almost certainly will, because they do a lot of repeats once they've been through the entire series. Watch it. You'll like Fortnite, hate Fortnite, addicted to Fortnite, think Fortnite's a disease. You will love this episode. Guarantee it. South Park is not the only show that is taking the piss out of Fortnite, because those of you who have seen it before, I hear you shout. I can hear you shout most likely in your heads. That's just South Park. That's what they do. Well, in the first place, generally speaking, South Park do that to people and to celebs and to things when they become slightly less popular and no one's going to give a shit. They did before Fortnite. They did PewDiePie, Barbra Streisand, Michael Jackson. Anyway, the list goes on. In second place, they're not the only show that's taken the piss out of Fortnite. Now, the other show, the other people and show who've done it is basically one of the people in my family had Power Ranger Ninja Steel on, Super Ninja Steel, sorry, on the other day, and they did a piss take of Fortnite. They renamed the game, they changed it from Fortnite to Game Goblin. If you're younger and you're into Power Rangers, you might have seen that. But the storyline was that the evil villainess who wanted to take over the world was using these games, these portable games, which to use to make all the kids become addicted to. And once they were addicted, she activated a thing, and the ones that the Power Rangers had sucked 5 of the 6 Rangers inside them. And then every time someone else played the game, the monster got more power and was able to attack them. So the piss take storyline was that the game was as popular as was basically Fortnite, but they had changed the name of it, and that the only way to stop the world being destroyed and defeat the evil villainess was to stop everyone playing Fortnite, playing Game Goblin, which was clearly Fortnite. And there were in fact a lot of hilarious jokes, like on one, to avoid getting caught playing it in class, one of the kids put up a model of himself to make the teacher think that he was sitting with his hands on his desk. And when she discovered, it got taken off him, and then he tried to cross an air vent and get it back, and he ended up getting hold of one of the other teacher's wigs instead, causing chaos. Now, these piss takes, everyone is finding them extremely funny. Both shows got a tremendous boost in their ratings when the episodes were broadcast, and the fact is, no one said a word about it, which tells us that it's not popular enough that anyone's going to bother putting complaints in, and it's not popular enough that Epic Games care. Or maybe they just don't care because the only part of it that actually makes some money is skin packs and stuff. The bottom line is, if you're not a grinder, if you're not a PvP fan, then you're not going to be into Fortnite. Now, I hope that answers the question of the person who put the comment in. They know who they are. I was not sure whether they were okay with me responding by video or not, but I wanted to make all this stuff clear to everybody, so that's what I've done on video, and I have not mentioned their name. But yeah, so catch you next time, guys. If there's anything you want to know, if I hadn't explained anything properly to you about the addiction thing or whatever, then please do send me a comment. And again, if you have something to say about Fortnite, you're welcome to come on one of my videos with me, talk in a party, let everyone hear what you have to say, and yeah. And if you want to actually see any of the info I've got from my research for yourself, go to PlayStation Communities and search for my sister's community, which is Fortnite vs. Family. You can also find more of the information. You can also find information that a lot of people have put up about Fortnite, not just me, in the community anti-Fortnite. So keep cool, keep playing Destiny. It's the best online game out there, and see you next time, guys.